Today is Thursday, May 14th. Welcome to Big Book Daily. My name is Rob. I am an alcoholic. It is a thrill, honor, and joy to be here with you today as we journey through the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous and the 12 Steps and 12 Traditions. Today out of the Big Book, we're on Chapter 8, Two Wives. We'll read page 119. Out of the 12 and 12, we're on Tradition 3. We'll read page 142. And of course, we'll read the 24 hours a day and daily reflection. So with that, hope y'all are doing well this morning, my friends. Life is good over here. As a matter of fact, as I'm recording this, it's actually evening time. I am going to record now because I'm going to watch the Flyers hopefully clinch a playoff spot as I'm recording this tonight. I gotta watch meaningful hockey in this time of year. Great stuff. So yeah, I'm super excited about that. And yeah, let's go ahead and get to the good stuff. All right, my friends. So if you recall from yesterday's reading, we left off on a powerful note. It says, after all, your family is reunited. Alcohol is no longer a problem, and you and your husband are working together toward an undreamed of future. So we are going to finish off page 119 today. Still, another difficulty is that you may become jealous of the attention that he bestows on other people, especially alcoholics. You've been starving for his companionship, yet he spends long hours helping other men and their families. You feel that he should now be yours. The fact is that he should work with other people to maintain his own sobriety. Sometimes you'll be so interested that he becomes really neglectful. Your house is filled with strangers. You may not like some of them. You get stirred up about their troubles, but not at all about yours. It'll do little good if you point that out and urge more attention for yourself. We find it a real mistake to dampen his enthusiasm for alcoholic work. You should join in his efforts as much as you possibly can. We suggest that you direct some of your thought to the wives of his new alcoholic friends. They need the counsel and love of a woman who's gone through what you have. It is probably true that you and your husband have been living too much alone. For drinking many times isolates the wife of an alcoholic. Therefore, you probably need some fresh interests and a great cause to live for as much as your husband. If you cooperate rather than complain, you will find that his excess enthusiasm will tone down. Both of you will awaken to a new sense of responsibility for others. You, as well as your husband, ought to think of what you can put into life instead of how much you can take out. Inevitably, your lives will be fuller for doing so. You will lose the old life and find one much better. Out of the 12 and 12, we're on Tradition 3. The only requirement for AA membership is a desire to stop drinking. And we've been reading about this one chap that he enters a pretty struggling group here. There's only 2 groups in AA at this point. And this guy says, look, you may not want me because I also wrestle with another addiction that's even worse stigmatized than alcohol is. So there's going to be a debate here, and let's see what happens. We're on 142. There was the dilemma. What should the group do? The oldest member summoned 2 others and in confidence laid the explosive facts in their laps. Said he, well, what about it? If we turn this man away, he'll soon die. If we allow him in, only God knows what trouble he'll brew. What shall the answer be, yes or no? At first, the elders could look only at the objections. We deal, they said, with alcoholics only. Shouldn't we sacrifice this one for the sake of the many? So went the discussion while the other newcomer's fate hung in the balance. Then one of the 3 spoke in a very different voice. What we are really afraid of, he said, is our reputation. We are much more afraid of what people might say than the trouble this strange alcoholic might bring. As we've been talking, 5 short words have been running through my mind. Something that keeps repeating to me, what would the master do? Not another word was said. What more indeed could be said? Overjoyed, the newcomer plunged into 12-step work. Tirelessly, he laid AA's message before scores of people. Since this was a very early group, those scores have since multiplied themselves into thousands. Never did he trouble anyone with his other difficulty. AA had taken its first step in the formation of Tradition 3. "24 hours a day, May 14th. AA thought for the day. Having gotten over drinking, we've only just begun to enjoy the benefits of AA. We find new friends so that we are no longer lonely. We find new relationships with our families so that we are happy at home. We find release from our troubles and worries through a new way of looking at things. We find an outlet for our energies in helping other people. Am I enjoying these benefits of AA? Meditation for the day. The kingdom of heaven is within you. God sees as no one can see what is within you. He sees you growing more and more like himself. That is your reason for existence, to grow more and more like God. Develop more and more the Spirit of God within you. You can often see in others those qualities and aspirations that you yourself possess. So also can God recognize His own Spirit in you. Your motives and aspirations can only be understood by those who've attained the same spiritual level as you have. Prayer for the day. I pray that I may not expect complete understanding from others. I pray that I may only expect this from God as I try to grow more like Him. Daily Reflection, May 14th. It's okay to be me. Time after time, newcomers have tried to keep themselves certain facts about their lives. They've turned to easier methods, but they had not learned enough humility. Alcoholics Anonymous, pages 72 and 73. Humility sounds so much like humiliation, but it really is the ability to look at myself and honestly accept what I find. I no longer need to be the smartest or dumbest or any other est. Finally, it is okay to be me. It is easier for me to accept myself if I share my whole life. If I cannot share in meetings, then I better have a sponsor. Someone with whom I can share those certain facts that could lead me back to a drink, to death. I need to take all the steps. I need the fifth step to learn true humility. Easier methods do not work. All right, my friends, that concludes today's reading. And gosh, I love that daily reflection. But I do want to go back to the big book real quick. I do believe that there's a balance, right? If I'm neglecting my home, if I'm neglecting my wife, maybe things are out of balance, at least for me. Because I feel like the person I owe amends to the most is my family. But also, it is imperative for me to work with others too. So I feel like I don't know if I'm not saying I've got the balance just right. I'm not sure, but I try to be there for my family. I try to be a present father, but I also try to do service work as best I can. But yeah, it's not easy. I'm not saying I'm not saying I have that figured out, but I feel like it's wrong to neglect your family. But that's just my take. But I love the daily reflection as well. I no longer need to be the smartest or dumbest or any other est. Finally, it's okay to be me. Now, it's easier for me to accept myself if I share my whole life. I have noticed, and I don't know if anybody else can agree with this, but I have noticed the more and more I share my story, the less and less that past seems so dark. The less and less scary it seems to be. Do I share my story with everybody that I know? No. But if it's somebody I trust, somebody I value, I find great benefits in just being genuine. And just being honest, dude, I'm a work in progress. I'm still struggling with X, Y, and Z. but I have seen progress in my life, and I'm grateful for that. But I'm always reminded of the Del Griffith line, right? Where John Candy's character, he's kind of like the vagabond. He's very, what's the word? Extroverted, loves people, right? And then you got Steve Martin's character, who's very much introverted, very much entitled. And they get into a big spat in the beginning of the movie. Oh, gosh, I love this movie. Great Thanksgiving movie. Just great movie in general from the 80s. Probably John Candy's greatest performance, in my humble opinion. Even better than Uncle Buck. Maybe even better than Great Outdoors. But anyway, so finally, these two clashing personalities come to a head. And Steve Martin's character, he just blows up on Del. And I mean, it is brutal. It's like this huge monologue of how annoying he finds Del to be. So finally, the camera cuts to Del's reaction. And he says, you know what? You want to go pick on me? Go ahead, I'm an easy target. Yeah, I talk too much, but I also care too much. But you know what? I'm not changing. I like me. My wife likes me. My customers like me. Because I'm the real article. What you see is what you get. Oh, I almost know that whole thing by heart. But I love that. What you see is what you get. I'm hoping in my life that my private life will match my public life. That what you see is what you get. Now, I'm still a work in progress, but at least progress has been made. Anyway, my friend, if you are sober today, I hope you know that you're a miracle, and I'm sure that those who love you are very proud of you, and you're giving a great gift to everybody around you. And if you're not sober today, I hope you know that you're a miracle as well, and that you have great worth and value, and your story is not done yet. So I pray that today you get the help that you need, and you don't have to do it alone. We've got your back. And by letting us help you, you're helping us. Go figure, right? So I pray that you get the help you need today. And as always, guys, I don't speak on behalf of AA, NA, Al-Anon, any other sect or denomination. I'm just a joyful drunk in this lifeboat of recovery, just honored to be here and hoping to be helpful in any way I can. But if we're given another set of 24 hours, my friends, I sincerely look forward to seeing you right back here tomorrow.